Hey everybody, Jim Tedesco here with Millennium County Railroad version 2.5. Well, it's a mouthful. Today we're going to do another how-to video. Well, it's kind of a half-assed one, but you'll get the idea. I'm installing LED lighting in a Athearn Amtrak 85-foot coach. And there's the shelf for it. An idea what's going on. And of course there is no lights in it as of yet, but there will be. Now I modified the chassis. The way they have this set up, kind of screwy really, well simple. Because it came lit. And underneath you'll see that you know what, let me get some more light over here first. There we go. That's much better. Alright, now I can see what the hell's going on. You can see on the underside there's the like copper tabs. That's the pickups for the lights. Well, one side is positive, the other side is negative. Although in DCC that really doesn't matter. But that's how it works. So I've taken a light bulb out, a tiny little light bulb. What the hell do I do with that thing? Oh, here it is. I don't know if you can see this thing. This is what they had. There you go. Or this is what they had for the stock lighting. Not going to work too well. And they had it right dead center. No interior in the passenger car, which why would you even bother lighting it without an interior? But hey, I don't make these things, you know. So I got to work. I designed an interior for it. And I'm going to show you that right now. There we go. Now, it can't get out wide enough to show you the whole car in one shot, but you know, you're seating in the front. This would be like the bathroom area in the back, which is perfect because we're using this for the buckboard and keep alive for the LED lights. So everything is contained in a little buckboard. Got the keep alive capacitor in the back. So when you lose power, it'll keep the lights on for like, I think 5 or 6 seconds. You could probably go back into one of my earlier videos, and I'll try and post a link to it, where I'm actually put together this keep alive board and buckboard to lower the voltage, because we're going to be using track voltage, which is 14 volts, and of course we can't use that on LEDs because it'll blow them out instantaneously. So I've got to go dig up my LED light bulbs. They're similar to this one here. Well, I'm not going to use these ones, but they're little tiny bulbs. And we're going to put in 2 of them. Probably about, you know, just cover, that should cover most of the area where the people, I'm going to put more people in there too. Now these 2 wires back here, these are the outputs for the LEDs. These are roughly going about, I think like 2.8 volts. Not quite 3, but not too much less, so it won't blow them out. And I can't get my tape to stick here for some reason. That just keeps the wires down out of the way. Because I've got both my pickups. One pickup wire is on this side here, the other one's on this side. So I soldered in a longer one to bring it up into the positive end of the buckboard. And the other side also goes in the other side of the buckboard. So the inputs are all set up. Sorry I wasn't even going to videotape this, and I thought, you know, I probably should. So I kind of did it after the fact. But if you need instruction on how to do one of these keep alive buckboards, they're real easy to do. They're very inexpensive. I think I got less than $12 tied up in this. And it uses a rectifier bridge, the buckboard, and the super capacitor for the keep alive or whatever. So, and then you dial in the voltage you want. So it takes the 14 volts, and I dialed it down to, like I said, roughly 2.8, 2.9. And I'm using 3 volt LED soft whites. I believe they're soft white, maybe. Not sure. I got them in a bag. I got to go hunt them down. So I'm going to pause for now until I find them, and then we'll continue on with this. This will be an interesting build, and it's going to be real nice when it's done. So I'll be back in a second. Alright, I did happen to find the lights. Here they are right here. I bought like 100 of them. Yeah, it's 100 pieces. These are really handy. You have to solder wires on them. It's no big deal. And it's white light, so these are slick. They come in handy, especially for projects like this. Also dug out my tire weights. I'm going to put them on the bottom of this, underneath where you can't see them. As much weight as I get on this, better, because I was talking to Tom Grassi, and he's a pretty smart guy, you know. And he says they'll work better for pushing them if they're heavier than normal. I says, you know, that makes a lot of sense, so I'm going to go ahead and put as much weight as I can on this. Normally, I think you're supposed to have 6 ounces. There isn't really a lot of weight here, even though I've got metal underneath the seat 3D seating thing, but not nearly enough. Now, these here are ½ ounce each. And I'm thinking I could fit 4 of them under there easily. So that's an extra 2 ounces on top. So let's see what. There, we get my scale here. Okay, I need more work area. Sometimes there's just not enough here. See what this weighs. Alright, this is 6 ounces. So another 2. We'll have 8.1 ounces all together. That'll be perfect. That should be more than heavy enough to push it around. So, I want to thank Tom Grassi for that bit of advice. I probably would have never figured it out on my own. Because that was one of the problems I'm having with the ones that I 3D printed. However, I am looking at the differences. Like I said, this is 85 foot. That's that right there. And this is the ones I printed. And there's quite a bit of difference between them. You can see the difference in them. So these ones I printed are probably closer to probably 92, 93 foot, which of course would be a problem. And these are pretty heavy. I think these are running about 8 ounces, but even with the weight in them, they still don't track well. So I'm not going to be using these at all. I'll raffle them off or sell them or something. And I'll look for another one of these Athearn blue box deals. That seems to be the smart way to go. This is a Amtrak coach car number 8039 with lights. You can see that there. There you go. So I'll have to try and find another one. And I got a deal on this. I got this for $15 on eBay. I made an offer. He took it, and of course it was $10 shipping. But you know, you got to expect the shipping cost. But overall, I figure I did pretty good on it. So I'm going to take a break and get things set up here. And I'll show you how I'm going to solder the lights together, mount them, and they'll be shell mounted, and we'll go from there. So stay tuned, I'll be back, and we'll continue on. Alright, well, we ran into some problems. What else was new, right? I had to remove the stock trucks. These right here. What happened was when I soldered onto the screw, the power wires, it kind of expanded the plastic, I don't know what you'd call it, collar. And it wouldn't turn anymore, so that was a problem. So I went to these type of couplers or wheel sets, powered wheel sets instead. And I've got the one in already. You see down here, it's much easier to turn. So I'm going to put one on the other side now. And I'm trying to figure out the wiring because the way these are set up, I don't know why they did this. Instead of connecting both sides together, you know, like this, the front and the rear, there's 4 separate points, and each one controls each wheel. So I want to have more than just 2-wheel pickup. I want to have a 4-wheel pickup. I'd like to have 8 wheels, but that's a little more complicated and unnecessary. So I'm going to go ahead and probably use a different color wire to represent the right hand side, and then the yellow to represent the left hand side, and I'm going to tie these two together and then lead them into the, and I think I'm going to shit can the whole idea of these buckboards too. I'm having a lot of problems with these things, trying to get the voltage right on them. It's almost impossible. I don't know if there's a way to do this to make it flicker free without having that buckboard. I'm going to look into it, but for right now we just want to get the truck set up, get the interior back in, which I had to take off. This right here. I do have the lights. The LEDs are mounted in the roof of the coach. I've got to solder wires onto the gold tape. That'll provide power, and that'll actually come off of here at some point. Of course, I'm going to have to resistor it down if I don't use the buckboard. Still working on some problems here, but this is where we're at, so I'm not going to bore you with the assembly of this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and get this truck put in, get the wires on. Well, get the wires on first, get the truck put in. Then I'll tie the wires together and we'll come back after that's ready and we'll go further. So, be right back. Alright, I'm back again. So I've gone ahead and I've wired everything together. I did change out the lights. Had some 12-volt LED strip. I decided to use that and not screw around with trying to go down to, 3 volts for the other ones. This should work. Now I don't have the keep alive in this. And I may, down the road, maybe put a keep alive in. I'll see if I can find a small one to mount back here. Right back here. But for now, I'm not going to worry about it. We'll see how it works. So I'm going to go ahead and button it up and put it on a track. And I'll see if it actually works. And if it does, I'll be right back to show or tell you. Be right back. Alright, well, let's try it out. See if we got lights in there. Here we go. We do! Yay! That's pretty good. Turn them back off again. Alright. Now we're all set then. So all I've got left to do is get couplers on it, which I'm going to have to mount coupler boxes on the actual body itself, because you know what I had before was truck mounted couplers. So I'm thinking maybe I could, if it works out right, I can cut these off maybe and mount them on the body. We'll see. Otherwise, I'll have to custom make boxes for it and make sure that I've got everything at the right right height. So we'll work on that. And for right now, I'm going to call this a wrap. You've seen what I did. Pretty simple. Oh, and it really doesn't flicker. Yeah, let me turn them back on a minute. I mean, not really. It's pretty smooth. So I'm pretty impressed with that. So I think we got a pretty good system rolling here. We'll see how it works once we get it actually in operation. Thanks again for watching. This has been a a little how-to video. I hope it helped out any. And like I said, if necessary, I could put a current keeper or keep alive in there. I'll see about possibly making one, because I've got plenty of supercapacitors left. It wouldn't be that hard to put one in. But we'll see if we need to do that. If I don't need it, you know, I'm not going to worry about it. So anyway, thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for the next semi-exciting video. Bye for now.